Pro Schmo community. Okay, so we could not cash that big 50% play with Daniel Santos last week because that fight with Grant and Santos was called off. However, we hit big tickets and now we're doing Verna Jandiroba against Yan Xiaonan. So we're looking forward to that. Hey, listen, if this is your first time stopping by, all you have to do is visit us at proschmobets.com or send a DM. Send a DM handle at ProSchmoBets. That's all you got to do. Hey, we're going through this real quick. Nora Cornell, Haley Cohen. Haley Cohen's got impressive offensive wrestling. She's rather big. She's like a featherweight to this bantamweight. To these bantamweight fighters like Nora Cornell. Nora does really well her work in the clinch. That's where she does very well. It's something she has to employ as far as her game planning because her cardio is rather suffering. The same could be said with Haley Cohen, but her shot selection is actually very good. So in the striking, I can see an even fight here between Nora and herself. Where I think the edge would be particularly with Haley Cohen taking down Nora, working Nora against the octagon wall. Haley Cohen's clinch game is so much better, but here's where things get pretty sticky. Haley Cohen, she's also has a very suffering cardio. So it's anybody's game here. I would just take the spread if you can, plus 3.5 on Haley Cohen and call it a day. All right, we're moving on. The prelims. We're moving on. Trayshawn Gore. This guy, regardless of whether he's inactive or not, Marco Tulio, his shot selection, his fight sequences are very predictable. Okay, those leg kicks he employs in his game, in his routine, in the octagon are all predictable. His punches are also very latent. So although he will have the volume over Trayshawn Gore's got the power and he's got that grappling. Okay, I can see him choking out Marco Tulio, and I know why you don't want to fade Trayshawn Gore. It's because Marco Tulio's dating Norma Dumont, your favorite bantamweight, huh? Trayshawn Gore on the money line, baby. Let's go next. We're moving up. We got Sue Madaraji. Hey, listen, Mitch Raposo's got great offensive wrestling, and he's with the New England Cartel, so his striking is really good. But here's the thing, Sue Madaraji was showing out with those scrambles against top offensive wrestlers, defensive wrestlers like Charles Johnson. All right, and Sue's got the striking here. Unfortunately, Mitch Raposo is a very undersized flyweight. He's nearly an atomweight. Now, I'll give him a break on it. You got Fernie Garcia. You got very small guys like Rocha, the Brazilian prospect from Contender Series. A lot of small guys, no problem. That's not the problem here. The issue here is that, Sue is just really rangy, too tall, too big for this weight class, and he meets that weight very well, man, on the scales. He makes weight, and he could put on the weight very fast. So that's the problem here. That's why I have Sue Madaraji on the money line. All right, we're moving on. More prelim fights, baby. Cedric Dumas, Michael Ole Chaychuk. Listen, Michael, he's got like a tendon that was torn from an armbar from his previous fight. Absolutely no way this guy is going to have any particular edge over Cedric Dumas. Cedric could seal the deal here with one takedown. And if Michael falls on that arm, it's game over, like Estela Nunez. All right. So, listen, we got Cedric Dumas on the money line. Next, let's see what we got here. Darren Elkins, Julian Erosa. Listen. Darren Elkins absolutely absorbs every strike coming his way. Unfortunately, he gets touched too much, and I think he's going to get put out against the octagon wall, or he's sticking his neck out as he's offensively wrestling. I don't see him grappling. I don't see him with submission attempts that really matter when it comes to the game of MMA. I saw him scrambling with Pineda, and I just think that Julian Erosa is so dude. He just has this baby now. If you see his story, just YouTube what a short documentary is like on pretty much the rise of Julian Erosa. For this Darren Elkins at 40 years of age, who's got like 2 ACL surgeries in the last 2 years, it's Julia Erosa or nobody. But absolutely, you cannot bet Darren Elkins. I'll tell you that right now. Let's go, Julian Erosa. Chase Hooper, Jim Miller. This has to go to decision. This, if Jim Miller is coming in with his A game, it's going to a decision. Very close decision. Jim Miller would lose the fight. If Jim Miller was only doing strength and conditioning at his gym and did not really have a fight camp dedicated to scrambling with Chase Hooper or trying to work around that jab, then it's game over. It's game over. It's Chase Hooper on the money line, folks. Let's go. Next, we have Verna Jandiroba against Yan Xiaonan. Hey, we got Verna Jandiroba big here, okay? She is an incredible grappler. She'll take your back. Yan Xiaonan has the, fundamentals down when it comes to striking, and Verna absorbs too many hits. But if Verna goes down, she's holding on for dear life, believe it or not. And, despite Mackenzie Dern not being able to hold out too much, I think she won a 29-28 against Yan Xiaonan. Now, I think the difference here is, though, Verna Jandiroba is as tall as Yan Xiaonan. Yan Xiaonan has not fought a fighter with these proportions in the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. So everybody has been undersized for Yan Xiaonan, and here we go. We have someone who's about her height, and I think Yan Xiaonan is the tallest strawweight, all right, in her division, next to Verna Jandiroba, Marina Rodriguez, and Tatiana Suarez. All right, let's go. And I don't think Tatiana Suarez is as tall, believe it or not. All right, so let's see what we got next. Dan Ige, Sean Woodson. Man, I'd love to see Dan Ige here. But Sean Woodson, too rangy, too tall. And listen, the edges in his defensive, his takedown defense, man. This guy, Sean Woodson, he's a boxer. Golden gloves against Dan Ige. Again, Dan Ige, had he been a bantamweight, I think we would have seen much more success with his career. I don't know. This is tough to call, man. Tough to call. I would just take Dan Ige for the odds, particularly considering Sean is such a huge public favorite. But man, Sean Woodson, if he starts catching Dan Ige in the body, defense, some takedowns, Dan is rather small, man. So I would just, Sean Woodson is a side, but let's see, what would it make it exciting if he would win? Can you match make him better? Yeah, I would take Sean Woodson on the money line. You can match make him better. Nikita Krylov, listen, you want to get some stock value to shoot up between John Jones and likes of Tom Aspinall, then you got to see Dominic Reyes go out here against Nikita Krylov. If there's anybody that could do it, it's Nikita Krylov. I'm not fond of Nikita whatsoever. His cardio is suffering. His striking is very good offensively, defensively, not sound at all. Very inactive. I think he sustained an injury, pulled out of a fight, and then we have not seen of him since. What I'd like is to see Dominic Reyes through. I think he's in the prime of his life, but considering we got to get John Jones to stock a little up and finally say, hey, Dominic Reyes, we've had enough. You should bet Nikita Krylov. A gun to my head, though, and God in the octagon for this man, because he is of a Christ faith-based. Dominic Reyes on the money line. Let's go next. Let's see what else we got on the main card. Michael Chandler. No, Yair Rodriguez, Patricio. Hey, so this is a great fight here. I like this here. Yair Rodriguez, man, is way overdue to make his lightweight debut. That's really what it comes down to. Brian Ortega's done it. Max Holloway's done it. Yair Rodriguez is next. I think Patricio Pitbull will win this fight and call out Max Holloway for the BMF fight. I think that's really where Patricio's head should be at as he makes his way, his rounds up to the top three there. of the lightweight division. Can you imagine Patricio Pitbull against Arman Sarukian? That's wild. Yair Rodriguez has no takedown defense. All right, folks, listen, Bryce Mitchell, I don't know how serious he took this camp. I think he thinks he's going to Pat Sabatini, this guy, Gene Silva. I think he's going to braid it to Leon Edwards there, with those advancing positions in the grappling. Don't get me wrong, Bryce is a beast, but how much training has this guy done? Has he conditioned at all? Is he between different gyms like he was when he fought Josh Emmett? I don't know. I doubt it. There's Gene Silva on the money line, baby. I wouldn't even take the spread on Bryce Mitchell. Now with that controversy with anti-Semitism and all that, Ari Emanuel, CEO of Endeavor Group, is going to make sure this guy is a highlight reel this weekend. Holy cow, the Jewish CEO. Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett. Man, Michael Chandler, this guy's 40 years old, man. This guy, look at him. He's about 40 years old, this guy. And the UFC has done too many favors for Michael Chandler. They really love this guy, but it's time. Right now, if Paddy Pimblett has sustained an injury, some folks are talking about him having bruised knuckles, and I guess finally Michael Chandler is going to do what Colby Covington has not. All right, so that Dana White privilege is real. But if Paddy is in the shape of his life, which I presume he is, I have no doubts. I did screen through the hand and all. I saw his pad work. I got Paddy Pimblett all day, man. Michael Chandler is grabbing gloves, poking eyes, biting you. This guy's all over the place. The prime of his life is long gone after calling out Conor McGregor. All right, so it's Paddy Pimblett. Wow. The biggest bet on this fight card, man, should be Paddy Pimblett, Werner John D. Robe. Again, proschmobets.com if you want more information on that. Hey, how many deals does Alexander Volkonovski have now? All right, with food networks and restaurants in Australia, he is very close to being one of the highest paid athletes in all of Australia. A very interesting fact, all right? And he's up against Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes is the tallest ever featherweight next to the one and only Jai Herbert. All right, now, if Jai Herbert was able to get a high kick on Topuria and get Topuria to get his ass landed flat on that octagon, not only that, but Jai Herbert also clipped him, I think, with a right, if I'm not mistaken. A right cross. It was wild. What makes you think Alexander Volkanovski is going to be able to take on Diego Lopes? It's Diego Lopes here. Diego Lopes 100%. And Movsar Evloev is booked already. He's got a fight booked. So that tells you that Volkan and Evloev are not fighting. It's Diego Lopes here. He'll make a title defense. And yeah, man, we'll see what that's like. But I can't see Volk here. He's way past his prime. He's nearing 37 years of age this year. Diego Lopes is striking. I understand, he's not aligning his shots like you would. His boxing, he's got that Mexican style boxing. And Alexander Volkanovski, he's so technical, very intelligent. He studies. But again, man, Diego Lopes is in the prime of his life. The grappling alone, if you've never seen Volk get choked out, you can see an arm bar, you can see something to the effect of a submission there. But you don't just have to go for the neck. You can go for an arm, you can go for a leg. There's so much you can do. There's ground and pound that is available to Diego Lopes. I do want to get into the technical, stylistic, and skill set matchup here, but I would rather you go on proschmobets.com for that. Okay, Alexander Volkanovski, like Adesanya, one of the highest paid athletes in the world, they're stepping into the octagon. I understand you believe that Volk is great, and this would be for legacy, but being a very highly favored, highly sought after favorite on the money line here this weekend, thinking everyone that this is a legacy fight, I have extreme doubts. I would not bet him at all whatsoever. It's Diego Lopes plus 5.5 at minus 120, minus 150. Hammer or the money line, folks. And you heard it here first. Pro Schmo Bets.